Hi, I'm Miscellaneous Stories and this is the Conjuring 4 Last Rites. An ordinary family, after buying an antique mirror, encounters ghosts in their home. To get rid of them, they call in paranormal experts. The film, based on true events, begins in 1964. Young couple Ed and Lorraine Warren, just beginning to study the paranormal, talk to a woman named Victoria. When Victoria found the body of her hanged father, the owner of an antique store sensed the presence of some evil entity lurking among the antiques. A pregnant medium, Lauren explores the store. Her attention is drawn to an antique mirror framed with 3 cherubim. "Holy mirror, tell me," she thinks before touching it. The surface of the amalgam cracks, gifting the medium with an eerie vision, including her baby. Lauren's vision sends her into labor. Ed rushes his wife to the hospital, driving recklessly along a rain-slicked highway. At the clinic, the situation worsens when the power goes out, but the obstetrician delivers the baby anyway. However, the birth is complicated. The canopy wraps around the baby's neck, causing it to be stillborn. Holding the baby in her arms, Lauren prays fervently, and a miracle occurs. The girl suddenly begins to breathe. The Warrens raise a daughter, named Judy, and are overjoyed. 22 years pass. In 1986, the story moves to West Pittston, Pennsylvania, to the Smerl family. Their middle daughter, Heather, is about to have her confirmation ceremony, which the whole family joyfully celebrates, even recording it on video at church. That evening, at dinner, Heather's grandfather gives her the same cursed cracked mirror Lauren left behind. Although the girl dislikes the gift and the dog barks at it, she pretends to be delighted. Afterward, the candle on the birthday cake goes out by itself, and a lamp falls from the ceiling, cutting the birthday girl with shards. Meanwhile, the Warrens are lecturing on paranormal phenomena with a student, who openly makes fun of them. Over lunch with the grown-up Judy, it becomes clear that they no longer personally go out to investigate every case, and about Wed's heart problem. The doctor told him bluntly that he couldn't handle another attack. Suddenly, Judy begins muttering a nursery rhyme her mother taught her to calm herself and drive away bad thoughts. Lauren supports Judy, who can't hold her hand, but suddenly sees a demonic paw on her daughter's shoulder. Smerl, doing chores, goes down to the basement to do laundry. There, she sees an ominous silhouette of a man in the darkness, which, when the light is on, turns out to be a portrait hanging on the wall. Later, while cooking dinner in the kitchen and chatting on the phone, she feels someone pulling the receiver's cord from the dark pantry, but no one is in the pantry with the light on. Meanwhile, one of the younger girls, levitating, falls into the next room. She is being held by a creepy old woman, with a terrible smile and a gray face. However, at dinner, none of the family believes the girl. Nevertheless, later, Heather and her older sister, Dawn, decide to get rid of the creepy mirror. After carrying it down the stairs, they leave it in the trash. In the morning, garbage collectors pick up the discarded mirror along with the bags, which are crushed inside the back of a truck. At that moment, over breakfast, Dawn begins vomiting uncontrollably, some of it bloody. Ed Warren is celebrating his birthday. Judy brings her boyfriend, Tony, who is very interested in her parents' research. He even asks the guests if they've seen exorcism rites. Meanwhile, the girl visits her old childhood room. Suddenly, the room is enveloped in darkness, and the evil doll Annabelle is reflected in the mirror. She's clearly unhappy that Judy has become the audience's favorite. This is despite Annabelle having 3 solo albums under her belt. But as soon as Judy recited a poem, the vision vanished. After a friendly match of ping pong with Ed, Tony seizes the opportunity to tell him and Lorraine that he wants to propose to their daughter. The woman agrees, but the man asks them to wait a little longer. However, Judy, returning unexpectedly, sees the ring and immediately accepts. The Smurl family decides what to do about the ghosts in the house. Don argues with his father, believing he doesn't believe them. He himself hasn't yet felt the influence of the paranormal. However, during the night, the man suddenly begins levitating above the bed. The mirror reflects a ghost sitting on him. Heather watches the tape of her confirmation. During the scene with the birthday cake, she notices something suspicious and rewinds the tape to pause. The girl sees that when the candle went out, a ghostly face appeared next to it for a moment. Then she notices 2 glowing eyes above the television, but it turns out to be a reflection off the porcelain dishes. In the headlights of cars passing outside, Heather is suddenly attacked by a man with an axe. The girl's piercing scream of "There will be a mother" interrupts her father's levitation. After this, doubting the supernatural becomes foolish. To find a solution to the problem, Smerl and report the incident to the media and the church. The priests react less quickly than the journalists. Father Gordon, a priest and good friend of the Cheetah Warrens, who has worked with them many times, also arrives at the haunted house. He arrived on the day an unknown force pushes the grandmother down the stairs, and she is taken away by ambulance. After examining the house, he realizes a powerful evil spirit has taken up residence there, and he quickly goes to the bishop for help. While trying on her wedding dress, Judy, trapped in a mirrored dressing room, suddenly notices that some reflections don't follow her movements. Then she senses someone beneath the hem of her dress. Believing it to be the seamstress returning, she calms down, but soon realizes someone else is hiding beneath the fabric, a creepy old woman. When the lights go out, the girl panics and recites a poem, which dispels the obsession. But then she notices her reflection pounding from inside the mirror, before breaking the glass and grabbing her by the neck. Only the appearance of her mother interrupts the vision. In the bishop's office, Father Gordon speaks with the secretary to secure an audience. While waiting for the meeting, he is distracted by a nosebleed, after which he notices that the secretary is not at her desk. When the phone rings, he answers, and Judy's voice advises the priest to back off. The doorknob on the office door turns, revealing a cross engraved on it, and the door opens, revealing darkness. Suddenly, the darkness thickens, and he shields himself with the cross. It bursts into flames in his hand, burning it. Seeing the darkness, The priest emerges from the reception area, and yanking the power cord from the floor polisher, wraps it around his neck before diving down the stairwell. When Tony helps Ed fix his motorcycle, Ed, in gratitude, shows him a stash of cursed and possessed objects, collected with his wife over years of paranormal research. At that moment, they are informed of Father Gordon's death. After the funeral, Judy lags behind the others briefly to touch the coffin. The gift of mediumship, inherited from her mother, awakens within her. She tries to find out from a colleague of the deceased where he died. At home, Lorraine faces more terrifying matters than otherworldly demons. A mountain of dirty dishes. While cleaning it, she encounters a blockage, which turns out to be caused by a locket with a photo of her daughter. Suddenly, the water in the sink turns to blood, and there's so much of it that it spills over the edge, soaking the kitchen floor. The woman's escape is saved by a visit from her husband, after which Tony rings the doorbell with news. Judy has left for Pennsylvania, alarmed by a foreboding. Lorraine, her husband, and her future son-in-law drive to West Pittston to the Smerl house, where journalists are swarming like vultures anticipating a scoop. The couple finds their daughter inside the house. She has come to help the owners, as her late father, Gordon, wanted. Lorraine wants to take her daughter and leave, but she convinces her to reminisce and save the unfortunate residents from the spirits tormenting them. Succumbing to her persuasion, Ed takes a duffel bag containing Bibles from the car, and Lorraine carefully examines the house, turning on a lamppost depicting galloping horses. While she listens to the emotions swirling around the house, Judy photographs her mother. The girl realizes she has never seen her parents at work. The medium descends into the basement, where the spirits call her, where she sees the past. A man once lived in this house. He hacked his wife and mother to death with an axe, then killed himself. Lorraine tells her husband about this, but admits he's not the problem. Some powerful demon has awakened the spirits and is pushing them to harm the current residents. Meanwhile, Judy climbs into the attic to explore. Usually if people see ghosts, the attic leaks. Under the roof, she finds a cursed mirror with a crack in it. Suddenly a piece of chalk rolls out from under it, revealing a message written on the walls. Miss you. Then darkness thickens. In the flickering light of a flashlight, the girl spots Annabelle. The demonic doll begins to grow to obscene proportions, pursuing Judy with the relentlessness of Haggy Waggy. There, her parents find her, and the vision ends. The crows climb into the attic and see the notorious mirror that once launched their careers. The couple confess to Smerl that in '64, they never finished investigating the antique store, having fled from the cursed mirror after giving birth. But now they've gained experience, matured, and are ready to curse any demon. They want to take the mirror to which the demon is bound for their storage, as they can't destroy it, only keep it safe. With every step, the knife grows heavier. Suddenly the straps unbuckle, releasing the canvas cover and revealing the amalgam. Looking into the reflection, Jack sees a ghost on the ceiling and falls out of the hatch. Unable to support the weight alone, Ed drops the mirror, and Rama breaks the owner's leg. Outside, Tony drives toward the house, but sees an old woman on the road. He swerves and rams the Smurl's fence. To add to the romance, it starts to rain, and the power goes out in the building. Slamming the door open, Lauren sees a horse nightlight on, and her daughter sobbing. She's already feeling unwell after the fall, and now a demon has possessed her. The possessed Judy pushes her mother into the basement, causing the dog to bark at her. The demon, like a true hellish creature, insults the dog, throwing it against the wall. Luckily, John Wick hasn't been invented yet. One stairs tries to reason with her daughter, but the demon inside her triggers another attack. Leaving her father to pick up the scattered pills, the possessed girl continues on to the attic. Meanwhile, in the basement, Lauren sees the ghost of a man with an axe, plunging the weapon into the head of his ghostly wife. He then chases the psychic, stalking her like an infernal Marilyn Manson, only without the music. Tony saves the woman from the fatal blow by opening the emergency hatch to the basement. Reaching the first floor, they chase the Smurls outside, and head to the attic where Judy is being held. Upstairs, they see her dangling from a noose. Modus Operandi's favorite mirror demon. The young man manages to revive Judy, bringing her back from the dead for the second time in her life, something only Dean Winchester once accomplished. At that moment, the mirror rises into the air, and begins spinning around its axis, like someone else's opinion on a famous organ. Then, frozen, the device tilts to one side, and breaking the railing, advances on the exorcists. Ed attempts to exorcise the demon with a prayer from the Bible, but the book bursts into flames in his hands. Unfazed, he thrusts it at the reflection, but this only angers the demon. At that moment, Lorraine remembers how she consoled her daughter as a child by inventing that very rhyme. As soon as the women read the poem, the infernal entity succumbs to the force of their love, and shattering the windows with a shockwave, evaporates. In the morning, having patched up the family's wounds, Voronov leaves the Smurl house, taking the cursed artifact with him. Having delivered it to the vault, Ed hands over the keys to Tony. The young man has proven himself worthy, proving he can continue their family business. The story then moves on to Tony and Judy's wedding, where even James Wan, creator of the Conjuring franchise, is among the guests. The film ends with a historical note. Although the Voronovs were ridiculed in scientific circles, they are now considered pioneers of paranormal research. They were married for 60 years. Ed died at 79, and Lorraine lived to 92. They left behind an occult museum, which currently houses the cursed mirror, among other exhibits.